Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM, and welcome to FrechDachs. Well, first and foremost, I do hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. FrechDachs. I hope that's roughly correct anyway, but it's, funnily enough, it's actually known by a couple of different names. It's on the splash screen when you load the map up, it just says FrechDachs. When you download the map, I downloaded this from King Mods, and it's titled as FrechDachs. But I do know that Argsy has been, he's created a community multiplayer server on this map, and it was called Cheeky Badger. So interestingly, it's had a couple of labels already so far, but nonetheless, it is a beautiful map. It really is. It's a 4x map. A few of the technical parts for the map before we go on. It's a 4x map. It is for PC only. The link will be in the video description below to the King Mods link where you can download the map. The map is by Kathy Kirsch. It is a fictional map laid out fictionally. But it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's obviously going off the road signs and stuff. For example, it's like a fictional European map, maybe like, you know, Germany area, perhaps something like that. But nonetheless, it is absolutely gorgeous. Performance-wise, it's brilliant. It's sitting solidly at 60 frames a second for a 4x map. But yeah, really, really nice. Now, 4x maps, for me personally, in the way I like to play the game, 4x maps are the best size map for me anyway. I just think they're the perfect size, and I haven't actually had much experience so far on Farming Simulator 25 with 4x maps. I do know there are a couple in existence, but this is the first one that I've had a proper decent good look around, and I've got to say, I really like it. It's really, really nice. Regardless of whether it's fictional or not, that doesn't really matter. It's how the map maker has done what he's done, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. It's really nicely laid out. It's lovely, rich in colour, and like, for example, just the nice, neat, clean roads, as it were, the texture and painting things that he's used for the roads. Just I like that, I must admit. It's really nice. I like a bit of both. I like you know, like a well lived in map with dirty roads, and you know, that looks like it's been around forever, but there's something also nice to be said about a lovely freshly tarmacked road like this, freshly painted. It's yeah, it's really, really nice. The lay of the land is really nice. It's not completely flat, so yeah, really, really nice. So a bit of information about the map in general. It has 200 fields, including 18 meadows. There are 26 forestry areas with approximately 38,000 trees. There are 5 buildable open spaces. There are 18 sell points and 7 purchasing points. That's pretty much it. There are no production points or production areas on the map. I suppose that's for us to put down what we want to put down if we wanted to get involved into productions. There is no actual starter farm. There's a starter farm area, but as you just heard me mention, there's 5 buildable open spaces. So instead of having a pre-built farm that, whether you like them or not, you can start, you know, instead of starting with a pre-built farm with workshops and sheds and all that kind of stuff, you've essentially just got 5 open plan areas, so you can start your career and start building up your farm from scratch, if you like, that kind of thing. And because it's PC only, obviously when it comes to PC maps, the world is your oyster. You're not limited as you are on consoles, for example, so you're free to throw a load of money into your bank if you can and all that kind of stuff. So I think that I'm assuming that was the mindset behind what Cafe Kirsch had in his mind when it comes to starting off on this map. But this is where you start off when you load up in I'm in new farmer mode here. I have put $1 million into the bank. I didn't just keep the standard 100,000. I think that's just habit now for some reason. Whenever I start and have a look at a new map, I will just go down and give myself $1 million, because why not? But yeah, this is where you start off in front of this lovely layout sign here, which just gives you a rough idea where a couple of things are on the map, nicely numbered and laid out, so you can see where you are. You've got there is a little bit of realism in here when it comes to, you know, what we have in real life. We've got I know, familiarity wise anyway, I know we've got Lidl and Aldi over here in the UK. Obviously they're supermarkets. I'm assuming Adika is another one of those as well. And obviously you've got the handful of sell points and bits and bobs around the map that are nicely and clearly labelled and obvious to see there. So, but yeah, so far, really, really nice. Now, there's not too much detail going on. Like over here, for example, this is the vehicle dealership. So there's not much. There's a few parked cars and stuff, but there's no kind of dud machinery lying around or anything like that. I suppose that can be down to us to decorate the place. We can just, you know, buy a load of stuff and park it up and make it look like it's a busy dealership, but just use the park vehicle mod and park them out the way so you don't have to get into them or anything like that, just to give the place a bit of life if you wanted to. But with it being a 4X, it's massive, and I just love that. The fields are really, really big. There's loads of room. You can just go for your life. You've got plenty of space to build your own farm to start off with. Personally, that's a part of the game that I absolutely love, just getting the creative on and creating a nice new farm. And of the 5 buildable open spaces that the map provides us to start where we want on the map, they're really, really big. So without further ado, let's jump into the map PDA and have a look, shall we? Okay, so here we are in the map PDA. Now I've zoomed it out as best as I can to cram the whole lot in, including the list on the left hand side here. But even when I've got things zoomed out, obviously the icons for the different sell points and tip points and areas on the map kind of blot out the numbers. So if I quickly just remove those very quickly, the numbers that correspond with what we've got on here. So Lidl is right up at the top in the top left corner, number 1. Aldi's actually number 10. Right down at the bottom here, and obviously Lidl and Aldi are kind of competitors. So he's whether that's just a thing on purpose or not, but he's put them at opposite sides of the map to keep them as far away from each other as possible. We've got Rua number 2, which might be a bit of a job to find, but we'll spot it eventually. Oh, there's number 2 there underneath the money icon. We've got number 3 here, Sagework. Number 4, there's the shop where we currently are. Number 5, just next door, the Tia Handel. Tankstelle, number 6. I can't quite spot that from looking. Number 7's there. Can't see. Oh, there's number 6 there. So number 7 is there. Raiffeisen, I think. Landhandel, number 8. Whereabouts is that? It's a bit of a game finding these things. There's number 8. Adika, number 9. I did visit that one before. Yeah, there we are, number 9. Aldi's number 10 down at the bottom. And Getrida AG11 is down here towards the bottom left of the map there. But if we bring the icons back up, like I said, there are where are we? We've got 18 sell points. We've got 7 purchasing points. So there's enough to keep you going on here. There's plenty of places to sell everything, and there's 7 purchasing points as well. So there's a few points to sell some of your products at as well. Now I said that there was 5 buildable open spaces. And I think I've managed to find all of those. So we've got area 228 here, which is $224,000. We have area 232 and 210 up here. That's 1. 371,749. We've got area 229 here. You can kind of just about tell the difference. If I zoom into it, as you can see, you can kind of tell that it looks more like a bit of a textured concrete grey colour as opposed to just the flat, empty colour that you're normally used to from an empty field. So yeah, there's that. So that's 229. We've got 230 here, which is where our starting equipment is. We do have some starting equipment, so we'll go and have a look at that shortly. So how many is that? We've got... can't lose myself there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth one is down here. That's it there, 231, coming in at 357,696. The map also has 26 forestry areas with approximately 38,000 trees. Now all those big dense forestry areas are located right around the north edge of the map, the eastern side of the map here, and a little bit of the south here. There's a band of them down here that I don't think you can purchase, but if you click on some of these numbers here, you can purchase them. That's 1.4 and a bit million there, 1.5 there, of course, 213 there is 1.6. So there's a good bit of money involved in purchasing the forestry areas as well, but you know, you can make a good bit of money from forestry, can't you? But with it being a PC map, obviously, you know, it's kind of irrelevant what they cost, because this is like it's not a blank canvas, is it? It's a proper 4X map, but you can sort your money out kind of off camera kind of thing before you're playing, and then you can start with whatever money you want being on PC, and you can plan your career from there. Field wise, I believe the biggest on the map from what I can see is Farmland 13 here, coming in at $1.92 million, 79.4 acres, and the smallest one I think is Farmland 104 here at 1.41 acres at 34,222. And obviously, as you can see, there is a massive variety of field sizes all the way in between the big one over there and the tiny one over there. A nice variety of shapes and sizes for the fields to cater for your every need. So even though it's a 4X map, it's perfect for getting some big machinery on. Now these are pretty big fields, obviously, with it being a 4X map, even though some of them might look small compared to some on the map, they're still quite big. So we're going to go and have a look at those very, very shortly. But yeah, that's the map PDA pretty much. There's not much more to say. Like I say, there are no production points and production systems built into the map. There's nothing in the list. If we go down here, there's none here, even though it says you already own all production points. We don't, because we haven't got any. There's none owned, but obviously there's plenty of space, plenty of capacity to place your own down if you so wish. So I suppose that's a little bit of a brief introduction. As I say, we've got I'm trying to pinpoint where things are on here. There is a sawmill on the map, obviously, thankfully, because if you wanted to get into your forestry, you're going to need a sawmill. Like I said before, you've got Aldi and Lidl and the usual sell points for taking your products to. There is an animal dealer. I did find that before. There we are. Animal dealer's not far from us where we are at the minute. So you've got the basics of what you need. But like I said, it's just nice to have one of the first 4X maps. Like I said, 4X maps have been my absolute favourite size map throughout Farming Simulator 22, and now they're starting to come slowly into FarmSim 25, so very excited for that. So let's have a bit of a wander around and have a look, shall we? Now, before we do go and have a whiz around everywhere and have a bit of a wider look at the map, I just thought I'd show you very quickly just the base game equipment that you start off with. Now, this is, I suppose it's nothing special, is it? This is the base game equipment that you start off with on a lot of maps. You've got the Challenger tractor, you've got your John Deere 980 cultivator, your Massey 8570 harvester with its header and header trailer. You've got your Great Plains seeder, you've got your Farm Tech trailer, and you've got a John Deere 3650. That's it. Now, this is one of the 5 kind of blank starter areas. It's lovely, it's nicely paved with this lovely square block paving texture, but as you can see, it is a massive area. With it being a massive map, you've got a massive area to build your farm, and of course you're free to paint and do whatever you want on here and place what you want down. But I kind of like that approach, if I'm honest. He's not spent the time building farms for all of us to go, well, I don't like that, I'm just going to redo it and make my own. He's just given us the blank canvas to start off with. We've got a vast area of land to do it. And obviously the mods are coming thick and fast now, as they have been since 25 came out. There's plenty of stuff out there start your construction and build your farm up with your silos and your workshops and your sheds and all that kind of stuff, your farmhouses. So yeah, it's just a blank canvas for you to get your imagination on, isn't it? So I must admit, I do like that approach, I've got to say. Like I said, the starting equipment isn't anything that we're not used to, that we haven't seen yet. It's just the same kind of stuff we get on the beginning of most maps, isn't it? So I suppose you're free to just sell that and start with whatever equipment you want, but at least you start with something, that's the main thing. So yeah, and I did say before that we'll go and have a wander around, but it's a 4X, so wandering around or even driving around it will just take forever. So I think we'll jump into flight mode and go and have a bit of a look. And of course, from up here you get a much better idea and feel for the actual size of the fields. For example, this big whopper that we've got in front of us, this is for the big one, field for farmland, sorry, 13, the 79 odd acre field. It's massive, isn't it, don't you think? It really is. It's right on the edge of the map, or one side of it is anyway, but this is a big field, so this is perfect for getting the big machinery on. Now we've got CORSAIR and auto drive now as well, obviously PC only mods. You have the capacity to run up to 5 machines with CORSAIR in a field, so this is perfect for stretching CORSAIR's legs, isn't it? It really is. But so yeah, gives you a much better idea of how big things are from up here. So, but like I said, I just love the layout of the map. I love these beautifully neat roundabouts. Roundabouts, I believe, are very much a European thing and a British thing. We have them over here, of course, but yeah. I must admit, personally, I love when I'm setting up the auto drive course, I love setting up roundabouts. I don't know what it is, there's just something about it, but it's brilliant. But yeah, so even what would be considered a small field on when you look at it from the PDA is still a relatively big field. What we here, farmland 10. So if we go into the map, it doesn't look particularly big, that does it? But it is. That's still a pretty big field. It's 14 acres just over. So yeah, and as you can see, there's the forestry areas towards the north of the map. Plenty of trees. What was it? Up approximately 38,000 trees. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that for sure. There looks a lot there. But even so, even though there is up to 38,000 trees, it was still sitting at a solid 60 frames a second. I know FARMERSIM 22 used to suffer occasionally on certain maps with trees. They would it would tank the FPS quite badly, and at times, not always, but at times. And there's still quite a few trees as well out towards the centre of the map. Ooh, a quick dip there to 59 FPS, but yeah. So far, I believe it would be. I wouldn't be far off saying it's a very well optimised map, especially for a 4X. One of the first sell points we've come across here now, from the outside, it's labelled up as land handle, and it does appear that way in the list on the left-hand side in the map PDA. But I'll jump into there very quickly so you can see. But obviously, you've got. It's there, number 8, land handle, but in the list, in your prices list, this is actually the agricultural trading area here, where you can sell a lot of your products to here. So, yeah, land handle, agricultural trading, same thing. Really nice looking building though, and I do really like the way that they're just relatively simplistically laid out. They've got their own little border fence, their own little kind of texture for their land, I suppose, the car park, whatever. And it's just nicely nestled in amongst the trees there. It's not too big. It's a lovely looking building though, I must say. But yeah, that's one of the first sell points anyway. And here we have Edika. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is one of the sell points that you can't take any of your cereal crops to here, but this mainly takes things like your root crops. You've got your carrots and parsnips, potatoes, red beets, and a whole load of bits and bobs that you make out of your production system. So your bread, buffalo milk, mozzarella, butter, cereal, cheese, eggs, all your oils, to name a few. That's where you bring these on the map if you were selling those. Again, lovely looking building. So we're right down at the bottom of the map, just about to approach Aldi. There's the map PDA here, and this is where we are here, just approaching farmland 224. And like I say, Aldi is a little bit up the hill up here. Now I think Aldi, Lidl, Ruhr and Edika, the one we've just seen, they pretty much function as the same thing for the products that you can sell there. I think everything looks like you can sell your, like I said before, your root crops, your carrots, parsnips, potatoes, red beets, and a load of the productions that you get from your production systems if you place them on the map and work with those. But I just love the way that they're set out, just nice and neat. Let's say set back within the trees, just kind of hides it out the way. We are right on the edge of the map here, so as long as we keep relatively low down, you've got no real idea of that. You can only really see that you're on the edge of the map when you're right up in the sky. But yeah, it's really nicely laid out, nice, neat and tidy. I really quite like that, I really do. So we're now approaching one of the main sell points on the map, Rayferson. Now this is where you can sell a lot of your grains to Rayferson, but you can also buy in a lot of your products as well. So you can buy in your fertilizers, your solid fert, liquid fert. You can buy in your lime. You can buy mineral feed. Yeah, it's we'll jump into the thing here and have a look here. But as you can see, you can get free water from here as well. Rayfersons, they take your manure. But yeah, you can buy in your liquid fertilizer, you can buy in your lime, you can buy in your solid fertilizer. There we go. So yeah, a kind of one size fits all sell and purchase point here. Again, nice and neatly contained within its own little border fence and just set back off the trees, off the main road. Really nicely modelled building with everything you need set around it. And here we are towards the east side of the map again at the animal dealer. Now this is a beautiful building. This building kind of reminds me of Deutschland back on FS25. Some of the wonderful pieces of architecture that was displayed on that map. But yeah, it's a really, really nice building. The kind of building that you would kind of expect to see over in that part of the world, in Germany, in that area. It's really, really nice. But obviously, yeah, you got your animal dealer, of course. No explanation needed there, is it? That's where you get your animals from, but of course you can deal with your manure and your slurry here as well. Sell points for those. But yeah, again, just the fields that look relatively small on the PDA are actually quite big when you get right in front of them, aren't they? And that's what I love about a 4X map, and the design of the map, the layout of it, I really, really like it. I know a lot of the fields tend to be, they look like they've got a lot of sharp edges and there's not that many round corners on the fields, but either way, that's all good if you ask me. It's fine. There's so many to choose from, 200 fields, and what was it, 30 something meadows, or 18 meadow areas, I think it was. Let me just consult my notes. Yeah, 18 meadows as well. So yeah, there's plenty to do. Now I appreciate I'm not going into huge vast amounts of detail for all the particular areas on the map. The purpose of this video is just to showcase it, to let you know that it exists, that it's out there, provide the link for you to go and download it if you so wish. And I'm just really excited about the fact that we've got one of the first 4X maps for FARMERSIM 25, in my knowledge anyway. I know there's a couple out there, I know one or two do exist. I know there's one or two, but this is the first one that I've properly had a look at and got my teeth into. And it's really, really nice, I've got to say, in my personal opinion. I know maps are a subjective thing. Some people like them. Some people like types of maps, some people don't. This might float your boat completely. You might not like it at all. It's one of those things, but that's the joy of Farming Simulator. Eventually, with FARMERSIM 25, there'll be plenty of stuff out there to suit everybody. But from up here, you can just get an idea of how big the place is. It's massive. Like I said before, a 4X map is, for me, the perfect size. It really is. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, FrechDachs Carter by Kaffeekirsch. Now I do hope this relatively brief map tour, as it were, has whetted your appetite to go give the map a download and have a bit of a go at it. It's the perfect multiplayer map. It really is. A 4X map is just the perfect size for that kind of thing. But it's great for solo playing as well. Like I say, it's my perfect size map. I love getting my teeth into a big map like this. But yeah, regardless of the fact that it's you know, a fictional area, as it were, it's not a place in real life, that's irrelevant to me. It's a beautiful piece of work by Kaffeekirsch, it really is. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed the video. If you're new to my channel and you like my content and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of supporting a content creator and helping out the channel, as always, I would be hugely appreciative. And if you do fancy playing multiplayer and you need an online server, and again, you like the idea of supporting the channel, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which will also be in the video description below. Any help and support there, as always, would be massively appreciated. So thanks everyone, cheers, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.